and atmosphere down there, man. That's going to be crazy. Hopefully, some of that lends itself to the Indians' attendance as well Saturday.
Yeah, I hope so, and I hope, it's funny because when it kind of ties together and kind of doesn't, but when LeBron, signed and returned to the Cavs, that's one of the things that I told my wife is I said, I'm excited for LeBron's return just because the energy in this town when there's something to be excited about. I think, we get too high when it's time to get high, and we get too low when it's time to get low, know? But this is one of those moments, I think, this weekend where, you can kind of feel people getting excited, and downtown is a place to be, and that's exciting. And, my hope is that, hopefully this is a weekend that is a springboard to, a lot more to come. I mean, for the Browns and the Indians for sure, but hopefully a springboard to a good long run into the Cavs season and downtown being the place to be.
Absolutely. I mean, that for so long has been what Cleveland was lacking. I talked about that a couple weeks ago, how they've really made a concerted effort to reconnect downtown to everything. And I think this weekend is kind of a good sample of hopefully where things could go in the future. I mean, there was a time, I remember a few times, not many, but I do remember a few times where you have that small overlap of Indians and Browns. Matter of fact, the last time it was really buzzing like that down there with both of them overlapping would have been, I mean, God, you got to go back to, you probably got to go back to the 90s. Well, yeah, 07 you had, I believe, because the Browns were having the decent year, and then you'd have to go back to the beginning of
a decent year. That's their best year in 20 years.
Well, yeah, absolutely, the only good year.
That should be like on the cover of the yearbook.
Sorry, man, but I'm old school. So 10-6 and not making the playoffs is just a decent year where I come from, man. I know to everybody that's post 1999, that's Hall of Fame caliber stuff, but it's just a decent year as far as I'm concerned.
I agree with you completely. I was just making a joke of calling probably the Browns' second best season since '99 a decent year. I think that's more of a commentary on what the Browns have not accomplished since 1999.
Absolutely, but you go back to maybe right before, maybe when the 95, when the Browns, right before Modell announced, when they thought they were still a playoff team. I think they had a national game the same weekend as a World Series game or something like that, and that you'd have to go back though. We're digging to go back and find it
for sure.
Hopefully,
it's been too long. That's for sure.
That's it. That's the point too, And on top of that, the Horseshoe has got a couple of big promotions this weekend. They're expecting 20,000 people each day, Friday, Saturday, to come through their doors as well. So I mean, there's going to be a flood of money and energy and all of that pumping through downtown Cleveland this weekend. I don't know if you saw it, and maybe this isn't true, but I saw a couple of people said, hey, man, I think Sports Illustrated is doing an issue all about Cleveland here in the near future. It was Sports Illustrated, maybe? I don't know. It was one of those, and I can't remember. I'll have to look it up and get the details. But, that's nothing bad there, man. If you're a Clevelander, it's a good thing and a good time. And hopefully, I'm hoping that the Indians, like you said, also can reap the benefits, all of them, not just one team or another here. And the Indians smack dab in a pennant race in the middle of all that. So hopefully, it really pushes them through, too.
Yeah, I hope so, and I think, I'll be very interested. I know I've been the Debbie Downer of the summer on my views of the Indians. I laughed when Kendall was on and said something to the effect of, he'll say positive things when there's positive things to say, and he'll say negative things because there's been a whole lot of negative, and I wanted to scream into my phone, that's what I'm saying, the same thing. But and that's really how I feel about the Indians, and I think this is an interesting 6 weeks here, and not just from a pennant race standpoint, but for the obvious of trying to play their way into the playoffs, but also what guys either stand up or what guys don't to emerge and either get them in or don't get them in. And I think, it almost doesn't matter what aspect of the team you look at where they are, whether it's offensively or whether it's starting rotation or even the bullpen, which maybe has been the only thing that's close to consistent this year. What do those guys have in the next 6 weeks, and do they play their way in, and how do you apply that forward? I think it's very interesting.
And for those of you optimistic Indians fans, I'm going to wrap up where I was coming from. What I was saying is this weekend, kind of a preview, because if the next 6 weeks, let's say the Indians get things rolling, like I happen to think that they will here, I mean, you could be looking again at a scenario like I was describing, where instead of it, this weekend here with an exhibition game and a regular season game, you hit October, the opportunity is there for the Browns to be playing meaningful games at the same time the Indians are in the postseason and the Cavaliers getting things kicked off around that time too. So we could be seeing a preview of some good times to come for all of Cleveland sports.
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't want to be the Debbie Downer again after I just tried to spew some positivity, but we'll have to see a whole lot more out of the Browns before we need to start worrying about meaningful games, as you call it.
No, I mean a regular season game. I mean a regular season game in October, because they're not preseason games like this weekend. That's what I mean. Sure. I mean a regular season game, which would be a regular.
Hey, even if you look at last year, wasn't last year the season? Indians played the wild card, and then the Browns were on was it Thursday night football? I mean that was a fun week there, and that's what it's about. I mean that. And again, going back to last year and the wild card and that stretch through September, I think every week I was on, I said, just enjoy it. Just enjoy it, because those nights, that's what makes it fun. I mean, that's what being a sports fan is about, is those fun times. And I think when we talked about LeBron this summer, I said, LeBron is responsible for, way too many I remember where I was moments. In my life, at least pertaining to sports. And, that's the thing, though. When things are going well, you have those I remember where I was moments, and that's what makes it fun.
I'm with you, my man. Absolutely. And I'll tell you what, a lot more. We can continue this conversation the next time we talk to you, but there's a lot of excitement going on, and hopefully the Indians can continue to keep their portion of it going as well. The way you started it is a great way to end it. It's time to get busy living or dying, and hopefully the Indians can do that and keep things going here. I've got no score heading to the bottom of the second right now with the Indians. Kluber out there doing his thing. My man Mike, a lot going on, and we'll get a chance to talk about next week. We'll see where the tribe is, as we're a couple of series deeper. As a matter of fact, I think by the time we talk next week, we'll be right on the cusp of Detroit and Kansas City, actually, of that stretch, because we've got 3 with Houston this weekend, then the 3 with the White Sox. So you and I will be coming on right on the tail end of the White Sox and getting ready for Kansas City and Detroit.
Yeah, we'll be talking about either the newest, most important stretch of the year, or talking about possibly being spoilers. Don't sleep on the Astros. That'll be the thing I'll leave you with this week.
You're right.
Don't sleep on the Astros. A couple times you've kind of commented like they're a team that the Indians should easily handle. They should.
They should.
And if they want to get their way back into it, then they have to. But don't sleep on the Astros. That's a team that can wreck your season real fast.
You're right. Much like, what was it, Kansas City a few years back. Remember that last series again? Was that was 08 or 07? No, what year was that? 08, wasn't it? The last week of the season when they got swept by Kansas City, when they were looking to make that final stretch. But anyways, I'm with you, man. And the reason I say it is because of the way you ended it. If you're contending and you're competing, then you should plow through Houston, and you can't let them knock you off track.
Absolutely, and winning series anymore, I don't think is just okay. I mean, today's a prime example for everything we talked about. You've got 2 wins from the Twins already. You got your ace on the mound this afternoon. That's a game you got to win. You win that game, you get a sweep, and then you come home for Houston and you try to get 2 out of 3 there.
Absolutely, Mike. I'm with it. I can't wait to talk to you next week. We'll see where the Tribe are. We'll see what is the next most important stretch of the season, and we'll break it all down. I look forward to it. And, of course, you guys can hear Mike every week here on the show, and you can see him every day of the week at didthetribewinlastnight.com and on Twitter at didtribewin. Mike, enjoy the rest of today's game and the Houston series, and you and I will catch up next week, my man.
Sounds good. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here. As always, Mike Brandenberry, a great time from didthetribewinlastnight.com. We're going to take a break, get this out of the way, come back on the other side. It is time for the first of the season. Fantasy football for winners coming your way. BJ Rudell rejoins the show. It's been, wow, he hasn't been with us for about 6-7 months here. We're going to bring him back on the show. Today's a good one for people that have never played and people that are playing for the first time, people that have played for the millionth time. It's just going to be a kind of an overlook here. The do's, the don'ts, the draft strategies of fantasy football for newbies and for experts. BJ Rudell, author of Fantasy Football for Winners, joins us next here on the Sports Fix.
It starts from the very first inning, Indian fever. Each game is a brand new beginning. It's the hits, the homers, the double plays. It's how you feel when we win. So catch Indian fever, be a believer with the Cleveland Indians.
A public service announcement from the Sports Fix. We here at the Sports Fix and our affiliates would like to apologize for any disturbing verbal actions, but remember, it's better having them trapped in a box than loose on the streets. Public service announcement from the Sports Fix. The Sports Fix, the sports show that cares.
Guys, want to take just a second as we head into this break and remind you about the official business printing source of the Sports Fix, our friends at Signs and Ship. Signs and Ship, I'm telling you, Chris and Pam, they've taken care of me since day one, and they can do the same for you. Whether you're a small business that's already been established and you're looking to grow to that next level and expand your business, or perhaps you've got an idea that you just know is going to be a great business and you need to figure out how to brand it and how to promote it and put it out there, Signs and Ship is the place for you. If you need a logo, they can create one for you. They have a fantastic graphic designer. Business cards, signs, banners, yard signs, mobile advertising, anything you can think of that you need to promote your business, they've got it at Signs and Ship. The best thing about them, too, is each of their locations, whether it's the home base here in Elyria, Ohio that I work with, or their spots in Virginia, Florida, and Pennsylvania, it's all local sourced. Very important to me because we all understand that small business is the lifeblood of the community. So check them out, signsandship.com, or call Chris and Pam today, 440-323-6060, the home office in Elyria, Ohio. Signs and Ship, quality printing at affordable prices.
It's the Sports Fix. We'll be right back.
I've been a pro wrestler my whole life, so championship belts have always kind of been a way of life to me. But did you know title belts are quickly becoming the fastest rising and the most popular new way for people to celebrate all kinds of things you never would have thought of before? We use it for our fantasy football league. It's a really cool conversation piece. Office pools, employee of the month, you name it. There's tons of different trophies that you used to buy plaques for. Well, I'm here to tell you about Pro-Am Championship belts, who have the highest quality championship belt with the lowest prices. Replace those old trophies with stock belts on hand that they can customize for as low as $30. Any occasion, celebrations, awards, championships, fantasy leagues, gifts, plus wrestling, mixed martial arts, boxing. If you need championship belts, check them out. Pro-Am Championship Belts, ProAmBelts.com. Look them up on Facebook, Pro-Am Belts. Trust me, nothing says cool like doing the discount double check with a real championship belt. Just ask Aaron Rodgers. Now you too can have one thanks to Pro-Am Championship Belts.
Sports Fix listeners, like us on Facebook today. Facebook.com/The Sports Fix.
Indians fans, GV Art and Design has unleashed their new baseball collection. This summer, you've got to have one of the hottest baseball shirts available. Indians themes, GV Art has them covered from top to bottom. Chief Wahoo, keep the Chief, one of the hottest sellers going today. GV Artwork, knocking it out of the park, teaming up with Michael Brantley to create a custom Dr. Smooth t-shirt, bringing back an old classic. GV Artwork, bringing out the wild thing. Give them the heater design. The Cleveland That I Glove collection continues to grow. New designs for women and so much more. GVArtwork.com, bringing it full force to the plate for baseball season this year. Whether you check them out online, GVArtwork.com, use the sales code FIX10, FIX10 to save 10% on